7-yard line. That's a great call, too. Play fake, and Farmer will put it up, throws over the middle. Pull, touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levis swings it to Scatterbo. Scatterbo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Another Scatterbo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. On this team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. This one the other way. He is still going back. That's the drag. Walks up and down.
Edwards pulls off and buries it.
Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.
Takes a shot for Darby. Flag out. What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? Welcome into today's phenomenal SHOW. Yes, got you a lot there going off the top. Big man camp, 7-on-7 camps going on out at ASU till late last night. In a championship game, Chandler 7-on-7 beat Basha locally here. We know obviously a huge game, and then Chandler had taken on obviously Arizona Avenue rivals Hamilton. Well, I should say obviously rivals on Arizona Avenue, but Chandler got Hamilton. Not that a lot of you would know right before that, and beat them. But I am Michael Carragher at Diablo005_ on the X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. You can check it out live there. Check out the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also, don't forget my wonderful friend, which is Fork Lunchers. I know I may have mentioned it to a few of you. I may have mentioned it to a few of you once or twice. The wonderful world of IG. Just go to michael.caratonudo.5. Yes, a dot between first and last name, .5. And guess what? You is rocking, my friends. And you can check out the show live there as well. And last but not least, you guys know this, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps, YouTube. You can watch live on YouTube. See the new cactus bowl hat there if you're watching on YouTube. But you can watch live on YouTube. You can also subscribe. You need to subscribe. Watch live, but yes, do subscribe. Again, forks up to the new subscribers. Greatly appreciate it. But if you're not watching live every day and for some reason you can't, might not agree with it, might not understand it, but hey, things happen. I get it. Life. But you subscribe to YouTube and you can go back and because you have missed, as you know, well, you vets know, you've missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews. And I got some coming up again for season 4, which are just going to absolutely rock. Completely, absolutely rock. So that being said, my wonderful, wonderful friends, that being said, go to YouTube and subscribe because when I say you've missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews, as you know, they are here on Pitchfork Lunch. I'm a Sun Devil, very innovative. Again, it's not just an interview, it's a conversation, whether it be with coaches, players, analysts, voices, alum, a wonderful AD who, before we wrap, I think definitely got to get him on. So that being said, go to YouTube. You know how to get there, but subscribe, guys. All you have to do is go to YouTube. Pretty easy. You know how to get there. You see my name, Michael Caratonudo, but my page is at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, guys, and subscribe again, because when I say you missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews and just phenomenal Sun Devil-ness in general, you see it's Friday, obviously. Pat Tillman Fridays. I mean, we honor Pat Tillman every day, never not in the memory, as many service members who have sacrificed the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms. But you can go to YouTube and you subscribe. And like I said, when I say a plethora, you need to binge watch season 1, keep watching this last part of season 3, binge watch season 2, keep watching season 3. And then through this summer, when we wrap up next week, just keep watching season 3. And then when season 4 starts, we'll be all caught up. And when I have different guests on, friends of the program, that could guests to come on, this will sorry, pardon me. We don't obviously ask the same things, have the same questions, because again, they would be like, wait, I know we've done a lot, but didn't we talk about this last time? So yeah, some things obviously per their sport are going to be the same, as we all know, but that's why you got to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You see the interviews, you see different shows. And again, plus hearing from coaches, sound after practice, sound, post-game sound, pre-game stuff I might have. It's just, it all comes here to you on Pitchfork Lunch, which you definitely need to you definitely need to check out, is my point. So again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's at Evans and Michael. V is in victory, C is in champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe away. But yeah, get into, you saw the big man camps there. Gonna get into it quick though. I wanna wrap up yesterday, because not just wrap up, but again, remind you, I should say, keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward, obviously, since the Cactus Bowl will be back at Sun Devils. Sorry, like I said yesterday, Mountain America Stadium, Sun Devil Stadium. The Sun Devils play there. You guys know it. Mountain America, a phenomenal partner. So you know when I say Sun Devil Stadium, I mean Mountain America Stadium. Nonetheless, the Cactus Bowl, as you see, again, look at this. I'll get in a little closer to the camera. You see the great artwork that they have. So yes, will be December 26th. So that in and of itself, my friends, again, very, very awesome. So I want to yeah, I want to go to a quick break. Yes, we'll go to a quick break. And then when we get back right out of the break, guys, got a treat for you. We will hear, because he spoke there yesterday. He did speak. Well, I'll say the other day. He did speak the other day. Graham Rossini, obviously athletic director, has a lot to do with the bowl game making its way back up to Tempe, because years ago when it started, it was down in Tucson. And I mean, it went through naming rights or sponsorship, I guess, changes, because it was the Insight Bowl, and then it became the Cactus Bowl. And when it came up here, and it was at, like we said, it was Bank One Ballpark at first, but Chase Field now. And then they're having renovations and stuff, so it's their off season, and now it's coming back to Tempe. And again, it's an awesome setting in a baseball stadium. We've seen a few others. The Pinstripe Bowl, obviously taking place in Yankee Stadium. It's a very, very cool setting to do. And like we heard yesterday, I mean, it's a very niche kind of novel idea, but it's like just a different. It's cool setting. But at the same time, as you guys know, I mean, come on, playing it there, absolutely awesome. So I just again, absolutely stoked. But we're gonna take a quick break, come back. Graham Rossini, gonna hear him talking about, get right into it, and then we'll also hear from Rudy Carpenter after that. We'll take a quick break, and then Graham Rossini coming up here on Pitchfork Lunch.
Understand the mic needs to be held, and that everybody opens with a fun fact or a joke. Mine would be, I'm no longer last, as you understand. understand the mic needs to be held and that everybody opens with a fun fact or a joke. Mine would be, I'm no longer athletic, but I am tall, so I can navigate the stage. So, as Scott mentioned, this is kind of full circle for me individually. I'm so proud to represent all of ASU in this particular moment, but being with the Diamondbacks for 13 years, I remember the moment that we were able to welcome the Cactus Bowl to Chase Field as Sun Devil Stadium was beginning a reinvention. And here we are a decade later as Chase Field is getting ready to go through a number of exciting renovations, and we can take the baton back from the D-backs and welcome the Cactus Bowl back here to Tempe. And so we look at this as an incredible opportunity, certainly for the Valley and the state, and the way that we can continue to welcome people from all over the country to the Valley, to the state at such a wonderful time of year. I agree with Nick, there's not a better setting than anywhere there's going to be on December 26th than right here at 5:30. If you're not here, you're tuned in on ABC, and that's an unbelievable showcase for this game and for our community. And we felt that in our 2 years in the Big 12, where we're lucky to have ESPN and ABC as an incredible network partner of our conference, and the reach of ASU, the reach of Tempe, the reach of Phoenix and the Valley is so profound through the power of football. And so when these worlds collide, it's a great opportunity for everybody in this community, and we're so grateful and appreciative of the support of this room to make an event like this goes. We're having a lot of fun in football right now, and coming off of the past 2 years, 19 wins across the 2 seasons, an appearance in the college football playoff that we were so close to ending up in the Fiesta Bowl. But as we have momentum under Coach Dillingham and activating the Valley and all the homegrown talent that's choosing to come back to our program on the coaching staff, on the roster, the fan base is off the charts. And as last year we had sellouts every single game for the first time in Sun Devil football history, that we had all 7 home games sold out, including that hot one on August 31st. It was still a great setting. And so the beauty of what we do is we know every week the experience continues to get better. And our hope is that every year the experience continues to get better and better. It culminates with another home football game right here at Mountain America Stadium being the Cactus Bowl. And when Eric first brought the idea to us and said, hey, there's going to be an opportunity with the renovations at Chase Field to potentially look at this back in Tempe, we jumped at the opportunity. And we like the idea of the Cactus Bowl becoming a part of the Valley's holiday traditions and really get a head start on all the good moments that start to happen in January, February, and March to welcome in visitors from all over the world. Why can't that start December, and why can't that start built around the Cactus Bowl? And so on behalf of ASU, we've got a number of colleagues here. We've got 300 people within our athletic department, thousands across all of ASU that work hand in hand to make these events go. We can't wait to welcome the Big 12 and the Big 10 to our home, to welcome the fan base and have an incredible experience with the Cactus Bowl. So thank you all so much.
Thank you, Grant.
All right, here a little bit there. We're going to hear a little more from Graham, though, because, again, it's more of a follow-up. But, yes, with many speakers, again, I'm not going to go too long. But you heard him right there. I mean, jumping at the opportunity to bring it back to Tempe. And you did hear Big 10 and Big 12. But the thing with that is, guys, and I got to get the I know that there's a deal. There's still so ASU, as of right now, and, again, I'm not going to say I'm exactly quoting. I heard him paraphrasing, but – actually couldn't be in it because of the Pac-12 how do I want to put it, the Pac-12 legacy, sorry, yes, so like some like Pac-12 legacy ish, so that there's still that, and again, I want to have Graham on to find out how much longer that is, so need to shoot an email and get that done. But yeah, so Pac-12 Legacy Bowls, they're still from that for quite a few of these schools, I think, still in that mix. So that being said, it's one of those things where again, it would be awesome. And yes, might not be the December 26th. I mean, the later the bowls get, obviously, the better. I mean, that's, bowl season usually starts like 13, almost 2 weeks before that, 12th, 13th. So you get those first bowl games. And then, once you get, Christmas, and then after like that week, obviously, yes, college football playoff, but bowl games in general. So pretty badass to be on at the 26th, but you heard Graham right there. But now we are going to hear from Rudy Carpenter, my friends. Yes, we are. We're in here from Rudy Carpenter, as he was there as well. And he, again, a Sun Devil alum, played in bowl games, I think it was the MVP of the Cactus Bowl. And I want to say maybe his junior year, sophomore year. I'd have to look it up. But nonetheless, you get what I'm saying. Yep. All right. So here is, you see it first, and I'll kind of a little bridge, because then I did ask him a few follow-up questions. I had to wait a second, but and again, I'll do it. But yeah, so here's Rudy Carpenter again talking about the Cactus Bowl, and obviously, kind of all things ASU. Coach Dillingham, what he's done. But yes, let's hear from Sun Devil alum, awesome quarterback, just played in the NFL for a little bit, and yeah, just doing his thing. But you always love listening to Rudy Carpenter. So here he is.
Rudy, what memories do you have from your experience with this one?
Man, I have a lot of memories from this game. I think for me, I think I played in four bowl games. I think 3 as a starter. I think, and this was probably my best game, best experience. Obviously, it was a great game. 45-35 or 45-40 was the final score. That team had a lot of great players. Guys like Ray Rice was on the team, and some other guys. They had some really good players. So big win for us. I think I went for almost 500 yards and 4 touchdowns, etc. So it was a fun game. I think the other thing I remember was it's a home game for us. Basically, playing in a baseball stadium was a unique atmosphere. It wasn't like there was 100,000 people. The way the stadium was set up, it felt like it was very full. So yeah, it was a great experience. Plus, we had a lot of the announcers that Brett Musburger and Jack Arute, etc. That for me, like I watched growing up. So it was fun to have those guys announce the game.
And to have the bowl back here, where you've played so many games, what do you think that atmosphere is going to be like?
Yeah, I think it depends on the team, right? All these teams travel differently. I would imagine that a lot of the teams in the Midwest, or really anywhere, going to want to get out here during this time of the year, during the time of year the game is, right? The weather's nice, it's beautiful, it's a great place to come, a lot to do, a lot of restaurants, golf, a lot of things to do. So I think it's great for the city. I think it's great for Tempe. Obviously, going to bring a lot of business here, which is an important thing. And then I think it's great exposure for ASU. Obviously, having a bowl game here in their stadium, I think we have the best, grass field in the country, in my viewpoint, and it'll be good for that.
What have you thought about Kenny Dillingham and the current state of ASU football?
I'm not going to lie, and I've told this to Kenny. I actually was not a huge fan of them hiring Kenny at first, and I'll be the first. Not because I didn't think he was a good coach. I just didn't think he was ready, right, for this. And I was wrong. And I've told Kenny this a million times. I think he's done an unbelievable job. I think he's been great for the university. I think he's done a great job in recruiting. I think he's done a great job building a coaching staff. I think he's done a great job building the culture. And having somebody who went to school here, his wife went to school here, his whole family is embedded really in the city and the university, I think it matters. And in my viewpoint, he's exceeded every expectation. I think he's done a great job, and I just hope that we can find a way to keep him here as long as possible.
What are the attributes that you see in him that you think have enabled this?
Well, I think there's a lot of things. I think communication is one of the important things. One of the things that me and Kenny actually spent a lot of time talking about over in Arcadia Tavern before he was even the head coach here was just talking about being a teacher. All of these coaches, they initially became a coach because they wanted to be a teacher. And I think a lot of times these guys get these jobs, these big money jobs, a lot of pressure on them. They forget that teaching was at the core. Communication, building relationships with young players was at the core of what they were trying to do. And I think Kenny's done a really good job of keeping that at the forefront of what he's doing. And I think one of the places you see that is in the NIL culture today, the transfer portal culture today. Kenny doesn't want to lose guys. Kenny wants guys to stay here, but at the same time, I think he's done a really good job of letting players and families know, like, hey, I just want what's best for you. And if that means leaving and me supporting you, then, I'll do that. And I think that when players and families see that, I think it makes them, trust Kenny and the coaching staff and want to come here.
And then to piggyback off that too, Rudy, when he talked about, obviously in the beginning, activating the Valley, but I asked him earlier today about the athletic department. I mean, all the athletes, like just going across sports and just the electricity that a lot of the programs have caused on campus. How big was he in that? And you as a former player, how much do you like to see these athletes involved going out to other sports and supporting other athletes?
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about it for years, meaning ASU is a sleeping giant, right? And no one's really ever been able to figure it out. And I think Kenny's done a great job of that. Ultimately, I think all that stuff is going to start with winning games. You can activate the Valley, you can raise money, you can have all these cool little words, but at the end of the day, you have to win games. And Kenny's been able to do that. I think Cam Scadaboo and his whole persona and the way that he handled himself, I think was something that Kenny was really great for Kenny as well, because my son's only 6. He talks about Cam Scadaboo every day as his favorite player. I think that's important, though, when you're talking about families and ticket sales and support. And so, yeah, I think Kenny's been unbelievable. I think Graham has done an amazing job. The softball team, I think, made a deeper run than people expected. Baseball's doing what they're doing. Women's basketball obviously got off to a great start with Molly. The swim team, I think, has done, some things. And so I think they've done a great job, everybody, Graham. But I also think that's one of the really good positive things about having people that care about the university and people who this place means a lot to.
You mentioned obviously the bowl game coming back here when you're talking about Coach Dillingham and all coaches, but with the transfer portal, another bowl game coming back here, like you guys talking about showcasing Tempe, but how much do you feel that could even affect the transfer portal in ASU's favor in a way to having showcasing another bowl game here?
Yeah, you would like to think that that's true. And you would like to think that whether it's just high school recruiting or transfer portal recruiting, that when the kids see how nice the facility is here, when they see how nice the stadium is, when they see the surrounding areas and how beautiful it is, when they see the grass and the playing surface they can play on compared to turf, I think all of that helps, right? I think unfortunately though, at the end of the day, we're in a world where just the money matters the most. And so I can't blame them. I'm an agent for all of these kids, so I'm trying to help them get paid too. So, but again, I think that's where, this stuff matters. The more events we have here, the more things that are here, the more money the program can raise, the more money the university has, which means the more resources that go back into the football program, which helps recruiting more than anything.
And okay, the perfect segue. I was going to say I got to talk to Jake Plummer. I've talked to Juan Roque, saying that again, not that they're a pro athlete, but when they, and again, being able to make money, but at the same time, like you just said, like about the money, like they talked about like the loyalty, the camaraderie with your teammates, everybody's the same. So do you feel that, yeah, not that these players don't love playing football, but do you feel kind of like they were saying to me too, like that kind of tweaks, like again, that bond and that, everybody's the same, because if, somebody on the team's making a lot more, again, not that they're not out there competing, but it's just, it's kind of maybe a little bit less of that bond.
Yeah, I mean, I know what they're saying. I think that when you're in college and everybody is kind of college broke and you're a young man and you're just trying to find your way in the world, you're trying to find a way to make it, and you have a whole team around you that's similar, you kind of have a common bond, some common goals, and you're all just trying to figure it out. The dream is still alive, right? Trying to go to the NFL and all of those things. So yeah, I think that's interesting, right? The memories are, when you're with a group of guys for 4 or 5 years and you're winning games and you're losing games and you're lifting and doing all the hard workouts and the summer workouts, and yeah, you create a bond, and there's a culture there and there's some loyalty there that's, really deep, right? And I think that's interesting, and I understand what they're saying. I mean, at the same time, though, I think we're in a situation now where you can walk and chew gum at the same time. You can have the culture, you can build the culture, you can still win, you can still have that camaraderie and the common bond and get paid at the same time. But I understand what they're saying. Yeah, it's a little difficult when one guy's making, $3.5 million and you got a whole bunch of other. I mean, look, I know some universities where they got one quarterback on the team who's making $4 million and the rest of the quarterbacks are making $0. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, that's the real world.
And then lastly, when you look at the...
Let's move you guys off to the side. So...
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
guys.
You're good.
Oh, no. I was going to say, and lastly, when you look at like the electricity that a bowl game is big, but now with the college football playoff, and I know the last few years, I mean, like you said, you played in bowl games, you were here for them, and the events that teams do and more camaraderie that it brings, a postseason reward. But like with the college football playoff expanding, do you feel that it might kind of take away from, some of the bowl games? I mean, this is a destination place, like we're saying, but like other bowl games with kind of the expansion of the playoff?
Yeah, probably. But I mean, I think the bowl game culture in general has diminished, I guess, over the past 10 years. You see it, a lot of guys, if they're competing in a BCS game or now the college football playoffs, they're going to go ahead and play. But if they are a draft prospect or a guy that's a higher pick in the draft and it's a lesser of a bowl game, they've opted out and they've not played. And I also think that we've also created an environment where there's so many bowl games. So you got teams that are 6-6, 6-7, or whatever it is, getting into bowl games and playing in bowl games. And so I think when you got so many bowl games on TV, it's made it a little bit lackluster. But at the same time, you got TV companies and organizations that are trying to generate revenue, and people love watching football, and you got commercial dollars, et cetera, et cetera. So I get it. I just think for me, if you're a football player and you love playing football, it's another opportunity to play football, and that's what I love to do. And so, I would have loved to play in a bowl game every year.
All right, as we're back here on Pitchfork Lunch Area, heard from Graham Rossini, Rudy Carpenter. Great catching up with Rudy Carpenter, man. And hear him, talking Cardinals, talking ASU. Obviously, he was an alum quarterback. Hell of a job. Yeah, I mean, took him to bowl games, and like he said the famous phrase that so many people here in Tempe would go, or so many people in Tempe or ASU, oh, it's a sleeping giant. Like, when Dennis Erickson came, and yes, in the beginning it was, oh, he's winning with Dirk Cutter's players, blah blah blah, the first year, and then, but just had a that pedigree. And yeah, people can say, oh, yes, the reports were leaking out, and there's the stuff here and there about, obviously, about discipline, and they're not being disciplined within the program. So yes, that's in and of itself is frustrating. But Dennis Erickson came, and then Todd Graham came, and then you go to the Pac-12 championship that first year, and and then first and second year, first year played at Stanford. Either way, you guys get what I'm saying. And then doing some winning, and then changing the discipline, the way things were around the building, and obviously, like graduation, and it got to the point. And then the whole lots of stuff. Obviously, Mike Norvell ends up, leaving, and then there's, some staff issues in the rest. 7-6. So, yeah, I mean, it was a little frustrating. And then, the bad loss to Arizona, then beating them actually the next season, but then he gets let go. He did coach the bowl game on the way out again. So Todd Graham, and then ends up, coaching at Hawaii. He was coaching in Hawaii for a little bit, but then yes, Herm Edwards comes in, and you get, a pro model and this and that, and then you're seeing, okay, and close games, and they're winning, and then yes, sanctions and all that stuff comes in again. But it's the sleeping giant just awakening. People have been thirsty for. I mean, yes, there have been pocket flashes, obviously Bruce Snyder, and like that era, and even back in 86, and then between 86 and 90, it was like, okay. And then, early 90s, and then you get to the mid 90s, and you get kind of an inflection of players, and Bruce Snyder, takes over coaching. And again, I loved the few times I got to talk with Coach Snyder, absolutely loved it. And hearing Juan Roque's story about him, and, even Jake Plummer, talking to him about him. So, it's again, absolutely very, 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 very awesome. But yeah, Rudy Carpenter said it, and Kenny Dillingham would, he's thinking he did, and hearing from Coach Dillingham, obviously at the youth camp, you guys heard that too. So, but hey, real quick before we get out of here, again, tip of the cap, Texas, the women's softball team did win back-to-back national titles. They won last night. They beat Texas Tech. As you know, they were squaring off against the Red Raiders in the Women's College World Series championship there, the series. So they dropped their first game, and came back and stormed all the way back through the elimination bracket. Couldn't lose again, and didn't. And yeah, they take down Texas Tech. So, hey, hats off. Congrats to Texas on that. They grinded. ASU made them grind. Don't mistake it. Taking that first game, and then in the super regional like ASU did, and then the second game. Absolutely. Again, hats off to them. Chase them down next year. Coach Bartlett, again, she's definitely got the MO. She has everything. So that definitely is going to be huge. See what they do spring wise. But don't forget, guys, too, I also want to remind you, obviously, you should get your football season tickets. It is right around the corner. But track and field, my friends, yeah, they're headed to Eugene. And on Wednesday the 10th, they are headed to Eugene. So we're going to see stuff. We're going to have updates, all the phenomenal stuff from Hayward Field at the University of Oregon. Yeah, it's just a beautiful setting. If you haven't been out there for the track championships, you definitely want to get out there. And you definitely want to you'd want to get up there and get out there if you can. Again, it's a beautiful setting, but the start's Wednesday through Saturday. So again, we're gonna be keeping up with it. Let you know how the Devils do. A lot have qualified, and yeah, go from there. So tis very, very cool that I'll be able to again bring you updates. We'll talk about it, see how they do. It's just again exciting to watch. Love track championships. I love track in general, not just championships. Going out and watching again, absolutely awesome. Now we just need to get some home meets back at ASU. The long list of Graham Rossini and his department stuff to do. Yes, we need home track meets back at ASU. But yeah, stoked for that. So that is coming up. And then I know you guys, you might remember that super regionals are starting started today, or getting started today. West Virginia already won their first game against Cal Poly, who came out of they upset UCLA. West Virginia, being number 16 because they're paired up since they were nationally ranked, gets to host. And Cal Poly, who was close at home at UCLA, drops game one, 12-2 to West Virginia. But yeah, Super Regional start today. So West Virginia and Cal Poly. Kansas, fellow Big 12 foe of the Sun Devils, taking on Oklahoma. Troy, who won the Gainesville Regional. Yeah, that was absolutely awesome. Stoked to see that. Is taking on Little Rock, who won the Hattiesburg Regional. Southern Miss, who was ranked. The ranked team hosted regionals. They Little Rock took that regional, heads to the Troy Super Regional, which is in Alabama. So they are hosting. And then Alabama is hosting St. John's, who won the Tallahassee Regional. Yes, sent Florida State home. They're taking on Alabama, who won the Tuscaloosa Regional. North Carolina, they won the Chapel Hill Regional as they sent home Tennessee, VCU, East Carolina. All were there in the regional. They're now hosting the Chapel Hill Super Regional, taking on USC, who just went to College Station and took on let's see, so USC, it's crazy because Texas State in the first round beat USC, right? 5-4. A&M beat Lamar 7-5. Southern Cal, gets their bats back against Lamar, beats them 19-6. Then A&M beat Texas State 17-2, right? Southern Cal turns around and beats Texas State 15-4. Then and that was on the 31st. So they played on the 30th, and then on the 31st they took on Texas State early, beat them 15-4. Then it turned around and had to take on A&M, which obviously they'd have to beat A&M twice. And again, it happened in all the regionals or super regionals, regionals, where I just don't understand why they wouldn't give them two the next day. But total advantage to A&M, and that's fine. It's their regional. They won. So, but Southern Cal whoops them 14-3. Then they turn around and play the next day, June 1st. Whoever wins obviously advances, and SC beats them 7-1. So even though you guys know how I feel about them, initially starting the demise of the Pac-12 as we knew it. SC taking down A&M, not sad about that. And then we also have Oregon in Austin taking on Texas as another Austin Super Regional, as Oregon won their Eugene Regional, Texas won their Austin Regional. There's that. Auburn did end up coming back and beating Milwaukee, although it took Milwaukee beat Auburn the first game, and then Milwaukee beat UCF. UCF beat NC State to start the first round, just like Milwaukee beat Auburn. So Milwaukee played UCF. Milwaukee wins. But then Auburn and NC State meet for elimination game. Auburn beats them like a mini football game, 17-13. And then they take on UCF, who they're able to beat 9-3. And then Auburn beat Milwaukee. They had to beat them twice because Milwaukee had lost. They beat them 8-1 and then 8-3. So yes, Milwaukee, hell of a run, but yes, just inevitably didn't have the pitching in the end. So Auburn is hosting their regional against Ole Miss, who we know took the Lincoln Regional, which should have been ASU hanging out in that part of the country. But again, I tip my cap. No excuses. Ole Miss did get them twice in extras and all that good stuff. So, yeah, so they're taking on Ole Miss, and then Mississippi State is taking on Georgia in the Athens Super Regional. So that's where we're out with baseball. Pardon me. That's where we're out with baseball. Again, softball had its champ, all that awesomeness. So again, just wanted to remind you of that. But football camps again going. The big man camp ended, and yeah, just again, absolutely awesome. So, hey, have a phenomenal weekend, guys. Again, you can check out those regionals or some Big 12, obviously West Virginia and Kansas, like I said, playing. You can check those out. But yeah, track wise, they start Wednesday the 10th, again, through the 14th through Saturday. Or no, wait. Did I say 10th through the 13th? Wednesday through Saturday. Yes, 10th through the 13th. And again, we'll be on next week. Reminders, see if we can snag a track interview. I need to see if there's a response to that, but I need to see if I can do that. Maybe even we'll see. Anyway, that being said, so yes, have a phenomenal weekend. And guys, you know it. Thanks for rating back-to-back Big 12 champs in women's volleyball. It is #OurState. Do not forget that team down south. Although some think you may have overall won Territorial Cup points, it does not make sense because, again, yes, you did win football, sweep in basketball, but we were 3-2 up on you in baseball, swept you in women's hoops, swept you and smacked you in volleyball, obviously, and then in beach as well, and then soccer. I think soccer was a draw. Right, but nonetheless, have a phenomenal rest of your. But it is #OurState, like you know. Volleyball, let me remind you that it is #OurState. Have a great weekend. I will see you Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. And you guys know it. Go Devils. And as always, forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call. Play fake. Farmer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Pull. Touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levis swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. On this team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025.
The other way. Still going back. That's the track. Walks up and down. Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richard Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt three right on the money.